On the surface of this Lake Winnebago lagoon in Menasha, blue-green algae is growing.
Blue-green algae is actually a misnomer. It's blue-green bacteria. It's cyanobacteria.
Yeah.
It's a bacteria that releases toxins that can cause harm to humans and animals.
These blooms can create sort of like a blanket on top of the water, looking similar to like pea soup.
We have just begun recently to see a lot of these harmful algal blooms on the surface because the temperatures and also the nutrient loading is a little bit greater at this time of year.
Using National Weather Service satellite imagery as a guide, researchers took to the waters on the northern shoreline of Lake Winnebago Monday morning. The team checked water clarity, temperature, and gathered samples to study.
Harmful algal blooms are actually one of the least understood phenomena in the lake. And we also have very little data on exactly how harmful they are.
Researchers say the study is twofold.
We are also interviewing people, taking some surveys, and also trying to get the community to get involved in the social media aspect of our project.
The survey also features a way to submit photos of suspected blooms.
We are testing the public's perception and behaviors in relation to the presence or lack thereof of harmful algal blooms on the Winnebago Lake school system.
Researchers say they processed about 60 surveys in the last 2 months.
Some new programs for students to explore, like additive manufacturing local certificate. And joining us live is Jonathan Reese. He is an NWTC instructor of prototype and design. Jonathan, thank you so much for being with us. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Why don't you explain this program for us and what students will learn?
Sure. The Additive Manufacturing Certificate at NWTC is a class and a few classes that you'll be able to take at the college that will allow you to learn all about additive manufacturing, how it applies to the industry, and how industries leaders can use it, as an educational tool and a way for students to get a career.
And we're in a pandemic right now. How has that impacted the industry?
Well, during our recent issues, the COVID crisis has put additive manufacturing to the forefront. The ability to take an idea and go from your digital design to reality has helped individuals and companies kind of overcome some of the industries that COVID has given us.
Why don't you go ahead and demonstrate some of the stuff this morning for us and kind of explain more about this program?
Sure. So what we have here are some of our filament extruders, and what they're doing is they're building little test programs for some students. What happens is the filament comes out of the machine and it builds a digital model, one layer at a time. So it is an interesting technology. It's ever changing. The technologies are growing as they mature.
And what person
Around
would
the corner
be
we have another machine. So go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, Jonathan. Show us about this machine.
Oh, so this is a additive manufacturing machine, an SLA machine. And what we're doing here is we're building a Martin Luther King Jr. statue for an awards that we give out at the college. So it's not only items, but it's also maybe a little bit of art as well.
And what person would be qualified for this program? Who do you think would excel at this?
People that like to think outside the box, individuals that have a pretty strong digital side, a little bit of an art background too, but realistically, people that have, an idea that they want to create that, it would inspire them or help individuals.
Ian Paulson is starting his third semester of the Industrial Welding and Manufacturing program at Fox Valley Technical College. He says learning a trade online was a challenge last school year.
Yeah, especially with welding. I learned with my hands, and I like to be a hands-on person, so stuck looking at a computer, it just wasn't as easy.
FVTC numbers show that Paulson isn't the only student who'd rather learn in person. The college has a 15% increase in the number of class sections being taught in person and a 15% decrease in the number of online classes.
But some of the classes that have been off, like marketing, business, they've been off campus. They're back here and ready to serve students. So
Jennifer Lanter is the interim chief academic officer at FVTC. She says the school still had some in-person classes last year.
We've had our health students here, we've had our truck driving students here, but we've had smaller classes.
Now, classrooms are full.
We knew students would want to be back. We knew our faculty wanted to be back. We wanted to be back.
Move my decimal.
Gina Raymakers taught physics and chemistry online last year.
And it is so nice to finally see the students.
Raymaker says her courses are lab heavy.
So when you're in an online program, those little bits of error aren't there, so you don't get to have those talking points with students.
Paulson felt like it was hard to get the gist of things online and thinks school is about practicing what you really want to do.
Out in the metal shop, making stuff, making sparks go flying. It feels good to be back.